So I watched the entire discussion, debate, interview, whatever you want to call it, between Nick Fuentes and Piers Morgan. And the funniest part of it for me was towards the end, about an hour and a half in, where Piers Morgan is starting to grill Nick Fuentes on being inexperienced with women. Now, this is actually a weakness that Nick has. I've seen him being interviewed or debating with women in the past, and he doesn't come off great because he doesn't have a huge amount of experience with women.
A lot of do you really have to get in the rain before you know it's wet? I personally don't think he's inexperienced with women. Maybe in the sexual part, sure, but the fact that he hasn't been intimate with a woman doesn't mean he doesn't talk to other women. I'm sure he knows the way women behave. Maybe in the bedroom, he is probably a little unexperienced, but does that mean that he is unexperienced with every aspect that comes with being a woman? I personally don't think so.
He doesn't have a huge amount of experience with women. And Piers realizes he's got him on this. He's like, yeah, you're a virgin. You need to have sex with a woman. And it's like, okay, Piers, it,
First of all, I know I'm cutting, like it's just started and I'm cutting off way too much. Piers is a devoted Christian or Catholic, sorry. Piers is a devoted Catholic. Um, Nick Fuentes is also a devoted Catholic. So imagine shaming on someone who is literally doing the right thing. I thought in I thought that according to the Catholic Church, the right thing to do is literally wait after marriage to perform intimate act with your spouse. And that's exactly what Nick Fuentes is trying to do. And here comes Piers Morgan just shaming him. Isn't it normal to actually have some self respect and decency? I mean, I thought that was the normal thing to do, and I thought not actually doing that was absurd and wasn't normal. But it turns out Piers literally and actually believes that being a 27-year-old virgin is weird. That's what Piers actually believes, and that's kind of shocking to me actually. And I like him less and less hmm, every single day.
the discourse really reduced to calling our opponents virgins.
Can you
I mean,
imagine?
that's very, very playground, don't you think? But also, it's not like you can hold yourself up as the model of masculinity when the Groiper curse has struck and Nick Fuentes' fans have dug around into your personal life on the
As
internet
they should.
and brought back quite a lot of interesting stuff. And that made other people start looking into, oh, hang on a second. If Piers is like, no, you need to get a woman and then you will be normal. Well, a lot of your relationship is actually very public facing, Piers, as in you've put it in the newspapers or your wife puts it on Instagram, and doesn't exactly come across very well, actually.
Piers Morgan, someone who is so experienced with women. I mean, according to him, if you aren't fornicating, you aren't a man, or if you are not fornicating, you aren't a normal person. After all his fornication, he is still a simp. He is still a toy in the wife of his hands. And he has the guts, the audacity to literally make fun of someone else. That's crazy. That's literally very crazy. I mean, I don't expect the best from Piers, but I literally thought he had common sense. But now it's all coming down. Everything makes sense. Everything literally makes sense. I mean, it is what it is.
Piers, it makes you look, and I'm not going to sugarcoat this, like a literal cuckold
Which
whose
he
wife
is.
regularly cheats on him. That's what you appear to publicly be. Piers's wife seems to be basically brazenly contemptuous of him. He reveals that when he met his wife, Celia Walden, he was bombing, giving a speech in front of 1,000 people, and everyone was jeering at him. Who could have imagined? And the only person laughing was Celia, who was laughing at him. She was really laughing at my discomfort. So the very first time he meets her,
She was probably thinking, oh my god, Piers Morgan is such a joke. I'm sure she did know his name before spending time talking to him one on one. She was probably like, what a joke, what an excuse for a man. Imagine being attracted to someone who is laughing at you, not laughing with you, laughing at you. I'm sure if she didn't laugh, it would have been like, oh my god, she's not laughing. She's definitely not the one. But the moment she was laughing at him,
he is a clown to her.
a
He's a figure of
clown.
fun to her. She thinks he is fucking ridiculous. And she really just doesn't seem to give a shit whether he exists or not. Piers admitted that Celia has forgotten their anniversary every single year since they tied the knot in 2010. Speaking of Lorraine, he revealed she's forgotten it for 9 consecutive years.
She literally doesn't like him. She just likes the fact that I'm Piers Morgan's wife. And I don't even think she took his last name. I'm Piers Morgan's wife. Ooh, I have money, My husband is rich. My husband is famous. And she realized she can literally just do whatever she wants, even though she's with him. And it turns out to be true because, I mean, look at the result.
It's just like I'm not in her airspace at all, so I have a wife who never remembers our anniversary.
Imagine.
That's really unusual, Piers. It really makes it look like she doesn't love you. Like she doesn't really want to be with you. That she's not attracted to you. And you're actually a bit of a burden that she spends her time mocking. And I'm guessing it's literally that she's with you for the money.
Obviously. Obviously.
Well.
Piers Morgan's wife. The status.
She admitted, though, she wasn't impressed at all with him. She joked that she wasn't too impressed with her first encounter.
No one is impressed with Piers Morgan. He is a joke. No one can literally say, I hold Piers Morgan in such high esteem. He is a literal joke.
Was unsure about even posing for a picture with him, so he came across as a loser and a simp. May 2005, seconds after we first met, I remember thinking, do I really want to have my picture taken with this guy? After he left Good Morning Britain, there was a double-page spread in The Sun that she posted on her Instagram that said literally, please hire my husband. I'm sick of having to look at him every morning. She told The Sun, being married to Piers is basically one very long eye roll. But what people don't realise about Piers is he's usually very quiet at home because he's exhausted himself. The only reason I'm sad about him leaving Good Morning Britain, and the fact that I wake up and there he is staring back at me morning after morning. Unfortunately, he's got all of his energy back now, so please someone give him a job.
The thought of Piers Morgan the wife just waking up and Piers Morgan it's on bed, it's in the bed, and he's like, honey, did you have a good sleep? And she's like, ugh, not him again.
Like, okay, your wife seems to have no respect for you
at all.
And she seems to genuinely not really like you very much, Piers. And there are a weird number of articles that make Piers look just like an embarrassing simp, frankly. Apparently he crashed his car on their first date because he was too busy staring at her legs. And
a simp and a creep, apparently. Ugh. I mean, it's all summing up. We knew Piers Morgan isn't really the finest or the sharpest tool in the shed, but it all sums up. He was probably this nerdy creep, and he probably didn't even know he would be Piers Morgan, as in the brand itself, Piers Morgan. So he got money, and all these fine women. That's if she is fine. All these fine women are in his way. He has access to all these fine women, and He's just misbehaving, if I should put it that way.
Apparently, he crashed his car on their first date because he was too busy staring at her legs. And she like, he gets into an argument with some guy. They're following an incredibly hostile exchange. I was quite taken aback and asked if that happens to him, and he said, yeah, a lot. So he's just generally hated by the general public, right? Unashamedly sycophantic. He describes Celia in the resulting GQ article as ridiculously beautiful, inspiring equal doses of admiration, lust, and fear. Celia adds, I actually had a friend who had a crush on Piers, and I told her that she was mad. Like,
Her friend probably didn't have a crush on Piers. In other words, you are married to a rich man. I wish I had a man who was that rich. And the wife isn't really intelligent, so she's like, are you mad? How can you find someone I find so repulsive to be attractive? I mean, I find him repulsive. How come you find him attractive? Calm down, sweetie. She just probably meant she also finds his pocket attractive, not Piers Morgan, as in Piers Morgan, the man himself. That's crazy.
like,
Temu is having a grand opening sale in Ghana. Guess how much it is? Is it 500 cedis? No need. Could it be 3?
that's not very encouraging from your own wife, Piers. We arranged to meet for the interview, and Piers managed to straighten out over the course of 4 different meetings. He kept saying, yeah, there are a few things I didn't quite get, and each of these meetings ended up with us having more and more alcohol until eventually he declared his real motivations and says, the thing is, you tick every single one of my boxes. And I said, well, that's weird because you don't tick any of mine. And now look at me, cue a resigned sigh.
I don't know what's with men like Will Smith, Akash, Steph Curry, Piers Morgan. These are men. I feel like these are men who never literally thought they would make it. So they don't see that their value. They don't see how they are somewhat the price. Somewhat the price. They literally were nerdy and they see no value in themselves. So it's quite easy for their women to see no value in them. I mean, if you yourself you don't see any value in yourself, how do you expect me, the third or the second person, to see any value in you? They were probably too lovey, and this is the end result. I mean, as a man, you should love your wife, but should you probably simp to make it known that you love her? No, that sometimes you have to put your feet down as the man and no, I will not tolerate this, and it shouldn't go any further than it already has. But if they go a little further and they realize, you tolerate anything, before you'd realize they're embarrassing you online, like all these women have. They will, though they eventually will, because they've seen you have no value, you don't respect yourself. Why should they give you an ounce of respect if you yourself have made it quite clear that you yourself you don't respect yourself?
And now look at me, cue a resigned sigh. I reckon that she was like, this unattractive beta, he's insufferable. I'm not attracted to him at all. In fact, I think he's a clown. However, he is fabulously wealthy, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He does have 3 mansions.
Yes, he
So,
should.
maybe I can just accept his gifts. And she says, I wasn't caving at all, so Piers started aggressively pursuing me in the most bizarre way possible. Like, okay.
Mhm.
Like, what an absolutely desperate simp Piers Morgan is. And of course, I wear the trousers, she says. She is, of course, the man of the house. She is the one who calls the shots because she.
Any woman who wants to be the head of her family, it's not suitable for marriage. Like, it's not marriage material. I'm not saying it should be a rag or a floor mat. But there's this beauty in a woman when she wants to be protected, she wants to be catered for, she wants to be told what to do in quotes. She wants to be told what to do, what not to do. She wants to be um influenced by her man, educated by her man. Um Her man tells her stuff she doesn't know. But if it's the other way around, trust me, you literally have no intimate feeling anymore because you feel, mm, what's he providing for me aside money?
He is the one who is reluctantly consenting to the marriage, and he is the one who is desperate for her to like him. And really, I think it's his money that has leveraged her into this place. And so, embarrassing, very embarrassing. But then,
Very.
like I said, the Groiper curse struck, and the Groipers started looking up her Instagram, and right, there was quite a lot on the Instagram that really was humiliating for Piers Morgan. Now, it's not bad enough that your wife publicly disrespects you in the newspapers, right? It's not bad enough. Basically, she says, yeah, I didn't find him attractive, and I'm kind of only with him because he loved bombing me with gifts, and I realized he was super rich, and I could just be a total bitch to him all the time. But the sort of things that she posts on her Instagram are really deeply humiliating for Piers, and I don't know if he knows this. In fact,
I don't think Pierce feels any humiliation. I feel he likes it. I mean, he probably likes being bent over in the bedroom as well, if I should put it that way. That's how some fewer than 0.5%, that's the way they would rather have it. And I don't think he's a Christian. I don't think he's a Catholic as well. I mean, someone who can literally say women should be priests. That literally goes against the teaching of Paul in Timothy. I don't want to go too deep into that. But yes, Pierce has no respect for himself.
he does know this, right? I mean, she's got, like, here's him as a hairdryer blowing her hair. Does anyone know what the off button is? Yeah. Okay, Piers Morgan's a blowhard, right? Okay, fair enough. That's banter, right? But then you get ones like this, where she's handsy and hanging all over this guy. It's like, okay, yeah, fair enough. That's not that much. Why we all need a best boyfriend? It's like, right, so some guy hugging her and Piers Morgan fuming in the corner. But then it gets just like more explicit. Here she is in a very cozy embrace with Lenny.
That's what I said. They start with the little things. They start with something that's like, I mean, it's not the best, but it literally doesn't call for an exchange of words, or it doesn't call for an uncomfortable situation. Then they move on to something somewhat, slightly ewer than what they did, and it just keeps leveling up because at that time they realize, he doesn't have any self-respect. He would tolerate anything, so why don't I just do anything?
But then it gets just like more explicit. Here she is in a very cozy embrace with Lenny Kravitz, reading Lenny's brilliant memoir, and thinking back to a sunny Saturday in Paris. He'd taken a 3-year vow of abstinence at the time. Shame. Right, okay, so tried to shag Lenny Kravitz, didn't manage it, but may have been given on loan by his wife. I may be some time. Right, okay, so it implies she shagged this guy. Oh, Oswald, behave. Right, okay, just very popular with men. She's very handsy with men on her Instagram. Right, okay, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about here, Piers. If anyone's distracting enough to make you slice half your own head off, it's Mr. Lowe. Don't rush home, Piers. Oh, right, she's trying to shag Rupert Lowe? No, I can't remember this. An actor called Lowe. And then there's this one. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play, and it's some guy washing car and it pants. Right. Okay. I mean, I'm sure Piers is feeling pretty good about all of this. And then you've got this one where she's talking about the stigma of men with massive dicks. Obviously, Piers Morgan doesn't have that problem. At least she doesn't mention him having that problem. Anyway, my husband Piers Morgan doesn't like me to have male friends because he's convinced they want me to have sex. They want to have sex with me. It seems that you want to have sex with them. It seems that you're publicly humiliating your husband by suggesting any other man on earth is desirable apart from him. But to be fair, all of this could just be passed off as, well, it's just banter. It's just me. Ha ha ha. I'm just being so funny on my Instagram, humiliating my stupid fat.
That's the excuse Jocelyn, Arkash's wife, gave. I mean, we all thought Will Smith was the end of simp men, but here comes women proving that they are doing worse and their husbands are bigger simps. Can you imagine? The same thing Jocelyn said. Okay, Piers Morgan's wife didn't say that's what she intended on doing. But when Jocelyn's wife was interviewed, she literally said it was funny. What's so funny? I don't get a joke. I really don't get a joke. But, anyways,
Funny on my Instagram, humiliating my stupid, fat, annoying husband. Okay, that's not very nice. Doesn't seem very respectful of him. But I guess Piers Morgan is such a simp that he's prepared to accept the public humiliation for decades now. But that's not proof that she's done anything. I mean, is having an account on Ashley Madison proof, though? I think if your wife or husband has an account on Ashley Madison, then it's probably fair to say they are definitely cheating on you.
Definitely.
Right? Because, I mean, that is the sole purpose of that website, to literally have extramarital affairs.
It is.
That's the point of it. And of course, Piers Morgan's wife has an account on there. Like, that is wild. Absolutely wild. How much she seems to despise him. And so, put in that light, you think, well, all this talk of him being like, yeah, men and women are equal. Well, no, your wife is clearly superior to you in your relationship, so she doesn't think this that you're equal. As far as she's concerned, you're punching up, right? All of that seems like a kind of way of justifying how he's treated like such a beta in his own relationship. And of course, a few years back, she decided to go on a 5-week, quote, marriage sabbatical. Now, I'm completely sure, Piers, that her Ashley Madison account went completely untouched during this 5 weeks.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'd rather be celibate. If I was a man, I'd rather be celibate than to be in such a disrespectful relationship with someone I've spent so much on, someone I've spent so much energy on, someone I've spent so much time and money on. I'd rather be celibate as a man than be disrespected like this. It literally just shows the kind of man Piers Morgan is and how he was raised. And he had the guts to say, I have 3 sons. Imagine all of them are idiots like this. Imagine. Imagine. Oh, the world should be getting better, not worse. I thought we were literally getting there. But we still have people like Piers Morgan and Will Smith popping out kids. I mean, if that's if they are not done. And these kids would grow up and be a bigger problems than their parents. So, yes, let's just end this. This is, I'm not feeling too good today. I'm not feeling too good today, and this is just draining my bones. I'm just having bone aches, body aches everywhere.
You actual cuck. Like, I'm absolutely sure she wasn't just non-stop cheating on you. Completely sure. Because, I mean, it's normal for white women to be like, yeah, I need to spend more than a month away from you, not really having any contact with you. And I have also, coincidentally, an account with Ashley Madison. So nothing to worry about there. Don't you worry about it. I'm just going to post on Instagram about how I'm shagging all of these other guys. Don't you worry about it. And of course, there is the long history of me saying you're really fucking annoying. And when my girlfriends were crushing you, I think she was mad. I think she was just mad. What this all adds up to is the fact that Piers Morgan isn't really in a position to lecture anyone about what being successful with women actually looks like.
Not at all. Piers Morgan shouldn't be talking. He shouldn't. He shouldn't be talking in any way. So that'll be all for the video. Like and subscribe if you want more. Thank you.